Hear from community leaders and those who have suffered losses that must not be forgotten. Together, we can help them rebuild and recover. Together, we are LA Strong, LA United, with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The way a narcissistic relationship works is if the narcissistic person almost like just sort of overtakes them, almost like a parasite. And one of the ways that shows up is the person feels silenced. There's no communication. There's no working it through. There's no sharing your point of view. All of those pathways get silenced. And so over time, if that happens enough years, they shut down. Well, here's the problem with shutting down. I want you to think of it as like a dam. Right? And the dam has like a grate on it that keeps all the junk, the garbage in the water from being released. And all that garbage backs up like a log jam. If we do not express ourselves, all that backed up stuff makes us sick. Physically ill, psychologically ill. So people will be walking around the world saying, but no, we're not getting into fights anymore. And I just do what they say. And my house is well ordered and I have a job or I have a family, whatever it is, right? So they feel like they're on top of it, but I don't understand why I'm getting sick. And I don't understand why I'm having trouble sleeping, and I don't understand why I have these headaches, and I sort of don't even feel like I'm in my body anymore. Well, it's because you only wait.
Dr. Romney don't play. Let me just say this. For people who have the avoidant communication style, yes, it's okay to not want to talk. It's okay to table a tough conversation. It's all right. You're not being shamed for pulling back. It's okay. But you can't live there. And you don't get an unlimited amount of time to stay there. If you give a damn about your partner, what has to happen is, listen, this heavy, way heavier than I'm used to articulating. Give me 48 hours to process all the, as a matter of fact, give me your top 5 questions that you need to ask me. Okay? And then let me have 48 hours to ponder, pontificate, ruminate, think deeply, meditate, pray, yoga eyes, stretch. I have to get ready for this. But at least you're in the space of saying, I care about you. I give a damn about you, and I'm going to put effort into answering your questions. What you find with most avoidant communicative types, they're like this. I just can't do this. This is too much. I'm overwhelmed. And then you say, okay. And then you ask another question because that response is not suitable in terms of dealing with the issues that are on the table. So by asking another question, they get annoyed because there is yet another question coming out your mouth. Now, I just told you that I was overwhelmed, and you're going to deal with my overwhelm with another question. So listen here. You mean to tell me that what you're saying is I cannot ask when we're going to deal with this? I just don't know right now. I don't have an answer. Can I not have an answer? Absolutely. And I'm not saying you got to have an answer right now. But what I am saying is you don't get to control the cliffhanger. You create a cliffhanger. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. That's the worst thing to say. Just let me get in a space where I can engage you without blowing up. Okay. The other person gonna be, well, when is that? I don't know when. So this is why I say sometimes if you give a damn about your partner, you have to keep in mind the win-win. I can't be assertive about what you need to know right now because I'm uncertain. But I am going to be assertive about establishing a deadline for when I come back to you. So I'm going to be assertive and say, let's talk over the weekend. It's Tuesday today. By Saturday, no, that's not too long. No, that's by Saturday, I'm going to address your concern. Please afford me that time. If two people give a damn, they're going to be like, agreed. But if we're in that control, manipulation, I want to win, you're going to have a problem. Chakra Guru, College Station. What are your final thoughts, bro?
Final thoughts is, man.
Did any of this make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to just say this. I'm going to say everything that you said is valid and true. And what you just captured is what I'm going through now. And that's kind of what I've been going through now. Setting those expectations and boundaries and having those conversations when we're both capable and ready.
But which end of it are you on? Are you the, come on, let's talk? Or are you the, okay, let me say, stop begging to talk. What I'm saying is set your boundary. Be assertive, set your boundary. See, I set the boundary from the person that's running's perspective. Now, set the boundary from the perspective of the person that wants the conversation. Listen, we are adults. I respect your space, and I want you to have your space to process. But I'm here to let you know. I'm not going to always be here for you to not step up when my needs need to be met. Right? So if we're having a conversation and I need things to be addressed, and you don't want to address them, number one, you're going to have to acquiesce to something if we are participating in a win-win situation. So you have to, maybe you can't answer me right now, but you can answer me later. And the least you can do for us, now I'm not saying this right, I'm being a jerk right now, but the least you can do for us is to give me 72 hours. Hey, Zoe, I'll talk to you in 72 hours, and I will hash this out. Because I know me behaving a certain way or not talking or stonewalling or not addressing, I get it, right? I know that bothers you, right? If you know them, right? If you know the person, love the person, care about the person, you're going to be like, okay, here's 72 hours, Zoe. But on your end, you got to stop chasing them. If you keep chasing the ghost, I learned this firsthand. Stop chasing the damn ghost. If they keep ghosting you on, especially if they say, yes, we're going to talk about it. Yes, we're going to deal with it. Yes, and they never do, you got to stop chasing the ghost, bro. At some point, you have to stand on the boundaries you set for yourself. Does that make sense?
It does.
The boundaries you set for them, you got to set for you. I'm setting this boundary. You need to talk to me. Here's 48 hours, 72 hours. Let's talk over the weekend. Let's table it for now. But if they keep ghosting you on that, agreeing to it and ghosting you on it, at some point you have to say, now I have to stand. If I don't get this conversation, then okay, we're not talking. Then you pull back. I didn't say you pull away. I said you pull back. And when you pull back, typically the runner goes, hey, what the hell is going on? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
I hope so, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. Chakra, yeah. Guess what you just did?
Broad College Station in the building.
Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. You already know. My brother is on the line. My brother, Happy New Year, Happy True Year. Calling from where? Chicago, Pasadena, Big Bear, Temecula, Madagascar. Jeff Brown is on the phone. Long time no hear. What up, Jeffrey?
What happened there, Zometheus? How are you, sir?
Hey, man, I'm good. Did you see James Broadway was on the podcast earlier today?
I actually did not see him, but I was watching your show. I saw you talk to him, so I called him. I talked to him. I hope he's listening, James Broadway. I love you, bro. Anything you need, holla, holla, bro. That's my cat right there.
There we go. There we go. Jeff, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
One, let me just talk about me and Mrs. Brown's conflict resolution.
I love y'all. Let's go.
Man, look here. Number one, because we both have super sharp tongues, our disagreements sound more like an HR meeting because we are really courteous with one another. Number one, when we have a disagreement, we start with, and I kind of started this, we start with what we're sorry about. And not on no bovine feces apology. Okay, an apology is an admission of remorse and or guilt for what you did that has nothing to do with the other individual or their response. It has to do with you owning your mess first. Baby, we are in this because I did that, and I'm sorry about it. I should have did this another way. However, I don't think your response was appropriate, and I don't dig it, or whatever it is. So that what we understand is that the relationship is something outside of us, like a baby, that we are both responsible for. And every time that I want to use something foul to hit her with, I got to hit that baby first. And pretty soon, me and her done got over it, but the baby's beat up. And we keep doing that, and pretty soon, man, that baby is dead. We love each other, but the baby dead.
We done killed the baby.
We done killed the baby.
Come on, man. I'm listening. Keep going.
So when you understand that the relationship is this thing that you have to feed outside of both of you, and if you really care about that thing, I challenge people to do two things. When you get in a heated argument, number one, take all your clothes off. Try to argue naked. And two, get two separate pictures of both of y'all happy.
Right.
Where you was happy. Someplace she was happy. Someplace you was happy. Both of y'all grinning. And look at them two people right there. How do we get back to this? How much do I have to grow for this particular melee not to be fake? This can't be about no Band-Aid. The very reason that we are at odds with one another is because there is something that either one or both of us need to grow past. Something.
That's beautiful.
Which one of us want to show up and grow?
Come on. Where the keys at? Where the keys? I didn't need the organs in here. Where we at? Hey, so hold on, Jeff. So how does a couple that deeply loves each other, that have crossed each other with their words, have cut each other with their words, have basically gone to this proverbial point of no return, how do they find the strength to return? Let me say it another way. Is the power of love stronger than the gravitational pull of hurt and disappointment? Go.
Ooh, man. I forgot, bro. I forgot how dope we are when we won 2 punch. That's dope. Okay.
Oh, that's dope.
Is the power of love stronger than the gravity? Well, I'm gonna tell you what it depends upon. What's floating in your love?
Talk about the ointment in the fly in the ointment. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Come on now. Okay, here we go. First off, let's start with stop gauging whether or not a person loves you by what they do. Oh, you hit me, so you don't love me. You cheat on me, so you don't love me. You embarrass me with your words, you don't love me. Love is only as good as its giver. That's the first thing you need to learn, is that Ike loved Tina. His love come with a left hook. It's a left hook floating in Ike's love. Now, unless Ike wants to deal with that left hook, or you want to keep taking it, then y'all going to be dealing with love on that level. Who's loving you? Listen to that song. Listen to those words. Who's loving you, and what with? That's it. That you gotta understand. Y'all need to sit down and talk about what's in your love. What's in my love? How many times have you strived to like your partner? To like them. You know how hard it is to like me, though? I try to make it a lot easier for Mrs. Brown to like me. Hey, Mama, I like to make it easier for Mrs. Brown to like me. But there are others, you know me. I don't care about the other people who don't like me.
Right.
But I have to care. That's my wife. I want her to like me. So every now and then, my wife is a little bit too preoccupied, in my opinion, with the plights and dramas of 17th century white people, but I will sit down and watch Bridgerton. Look here, this is our show.
Come on, we watching the Tudors.
Come on, bro. We finna watch these white folks go through this mess a few hundred years ago.
We watching Downton Abbey. We doing it all.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
We doing it all. We finna pretend that Europe was as ethnically diverse as Bridgerton tells you, because that's what she likes.
Wait.
And I ain't going to bring up the fact that this is on some BS, but I'm going to watch it with her because that's what she likes.
Hey, stay with me, Jeff, because I got the opposite question. So stay with me. Jeff Brown on fire tonight. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you, neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. Sign up for Notify LA on your phone to get fire danger alerts and updates, or check on lafd.org. The Watch Duty app is free and provides wildfire maps and updates in real time. Keep your gas tank full and plan your route in case you have to leave the area. City and county officials are urging you to pack a go bag so you can be ready to leave your home quickly in case of an evacuation order. Your go bag should include a couple of days of clothing, copies of your important documents and ID, money, insurance information, your medications, electronic devices, batteries, chargers, a small radio, and emergency contacts. If you receive an evacuation order, gather your loved ones, grab your bag, your pet food, and leave immediately. For information on shelters for your pets or even your family, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 county-wide. Wearing a mask outside will help protect you from smoke, toxic fume, and particulate matter. If you don't need to go out, it's best to stay home with the windows closed. Getting to know your neighbors is a great way to stay safe, stay connected, and share resources. And Angelinos are stepping up to help, so reach out and find the assistance you need. Mutual Aid LA Network is constantly updating a Google Sheet with mutual aid resources. You can find it at tiny.cc-malan-fire. The earlier you make a plan, the better off you'll be when every second counts. Praying for LA, preparing, and standing with you. KBLA, Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So here are some of the things that you can do that will actually hurt a narcissist. So number 1 is ask for proof. Actually demand, hold them to account for things. The thing is that a lot of times the way the relationship has gone is you've kind of allowed them to get away with things because you didn't want to rock the boat. You've kind of gone along to get along. And so you've created a pattern and they're sort of used to that pattern. And so you're starting to create a new pattern. They're going to want you to be punished for that initially, but that's okay. You just have to start standing up for yourself a little bit. So number 1 is just start asking for proof when they lie or when they do things. Just say no. That's number 1. Number 2 is a similar kind of thing. You start challenging things that they say. No, that's not how that went. Or no, that's not what you said. Or no, that's not what I said. So that's number 2, challenging things that they say. Number 3 is creating boundaries and then holding them to them. So you can create boundaries for yourself by changing your passwords, changing your logins, changing your locks if you're allowed to at a certain point in time. They've moved out. You are not allowed to come back into my house, or if you're splitting up a business, you can change the logins to your accounts or something like that. I mean, it depends on whatever your situation is, but you can.
But what's interesting about what she's describing? She's describing an assertive posture when dealing with people that play games, whether it's communicative, whether it's narcissistic, whether it's dismissive, whether it's avoidant, whatever. You're not being forthright. Okay, well, these are the consequences. That's being assertive. You can't attack someone that's going to use linguistic manipulation with passivity. You have to be clear about what you will and will not stand for. And I think that's an appropriate distinction here. We got Jeff Brown out of Pasadena. He was absolutely cooking with the rarest truffle oil But let me just say this, Jeff. You said it depends. I asked you, love. I'm talking about true love, not transactional love, not performative love, not cognitive love. I'm talking about actual true love. Is it stronger than the gravitational pull of disappointment, of hurt? You said that depends on what's floating in the love.
Yes.
So I was going to add another layer onto that. I view love as honey. Now, in ancient Egypt, they found some honey that was 3,000 years old, and it's still edible because it does not decay. Honey does not decay. And I believe the truth of love, not the maladaptive, toxic love that insecurity produces. I believe that true love is reminiscent of honey. It is devoid of decay. Now, my question is, does that mean this? Because many people will take this out of context, right? And say, oh, well, that means love will allow people to treat you badly continuously. And that is not true. The question is, does love have the staying power of honey, and can it overcome the humanity of the two people involved? Talk to me.
That depends on what bee's butt it came out of.
Listen, man, I'm going to throw my phone across the studio. Keep cutting up. Here? First off, honey come out their mouth is bee vomit. That's what it is. But I didn't mean to say that. Go ahead.
Okay, don't come out the bee's butt. Okay. Well, it depends upon what bee it come out. Okay. Again, I don't. I can't gauge the truth of love purely by behavior.
I agree with you. It's the person. It's the essence.
Yeah.
It's who they are. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
Jeff, don't leave. Don't leave.
Okay.
We're going to come right back to you. Don't leave, because I want you to ruminate and marinate on this topic. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We're on Complete Fire tonight. Jeff Brown cooking.
Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Uncry these tears. I cried so many nights. Unbreak my heart. My heart. Take back that sad word goodbye. Bring back the joy to my life.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Southern California Edison is being sued over claims its electrical equipment is responsible for starting one of the wildfires in the Los Angeles area. Investigators are examining the site, now off limits. The New Hampshire Supreme Court rejected a lawsuit against white supremacist group NSC 13, ruling 4-0 that their 2022 Keep New England White banner in Portsmouth did not violate the Civil Rights Act, citing free speech protections. Prominent Black Granada civil rights attorney Carlos Moore has been suspended from practicing law in Mississippi for 1 year. The suspension, issued December 31st, follows an investigation revealing he misdirected $300,000 from a settlement. And Orlando, Florida is celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this week, starting with a vigil, march, and interfaith service at Shiloh Baptist Church. The city has officially proclaimed this week Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Week. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 in my garage after I overpaid for new blinds. I researched the industry, hired my mom, and 14 years later, we're one of the largest retailers of custom blinds in the U.S. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
To our beloved greater Los Angeles community affected by the devastating wildfires, we stand with you. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, our hearts go out to those who've lost loved ones, homes, businesses, belongings, and precious memories. In these challenging times, We're here to keep you informed and connected. For the latest updates, resources, and ways to help your neighbors in need, stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580. Together, we'll rebuild. Together, we'll recover. Together, we are Los Angeles strong. KBLA Talk 1580. Your voice, your community, your station.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Okay, so last time I had insurance, I got hit with huge bills every time I saw the doctor.
You gotta get a plan with low copays and no deductibles. That's what those big bills are. I got a plan through Covered California. Now it doesn't cost so much to go see a doctor.
Seriously?
Yeah, and they have a bunch of options like that, so you can find one that works for you and your cash flow.
I can swing that.
We all have questions. Covered California has answers and can find a health plan that's right for you. Covered California, this way to health insurance.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I want this. I want a partner. Bring me a partner, right? And we fall in love with ourselves. We get in our power. We get in our flow. We meet somebody. It starts to go good. It's flowing, right? It's flowing, feeling good. And then fear kicks in. And you fear losing them and start to do these little interesting games where you try to control how they think, control how they move, control how they love you. You sabotage before they can hurt you. There's so many pieces to this thing, and that's the same for your business, for the things that are going on in your family, how you look, how you talk, how you dress, how you walk, because you think that's going to get you somewhere. You think that that's how you win, and I'm here to remind you that the name of the game is surrender, moving out of one's way, out of your own personality's way, and asking yourself, asking the higher self, asking spirit, how/what would you have me do? What would you have me say? Where would you have me be? Where would you have me go? How can I bless other people? I want this. I want a partner. Bring me a partner, right? And we fall in love with ourselves. We get in our power. We get in our flow. We meet somebody. It starts to go good. It's flowing, right? It's flowing, feeling good. And then fear kicks in, and you fear losing.
Yeah, I don't know. But what I do know is Jeff Brown has had time to ruminate, right, on my question.
I'm the only one trying to sing that and just figured out that Maxwell doing nothing but singing the song and bringing his lips together like he used to do when you.
Jeff, what is your answer, sir, to the analogy that real love, true love, lasts as long as pure honey, right? It does not decay. Your thoughts?
My thought is that because we know that humans are imperfect, how does this sound okay? Does it sound better this way or the other way? I got you on speaker.
You're not breaking up as much now. You sound much better.
Okay. What that points to, in my opinion, is the allowance for imperfection is so huge in love. Because if you don't have that, then how is it supposed to last like honey?
No, this is deep. This is deep. You're saying human beings typically can't differentiate between the flaws in their partner and love. I believe that they are different. The flaws in your partner are their flaws, but I think love is what it is, and I think what happens is they get conflated. If you love me, you couldn't be human. You shouldn't be human, because when you're human, you hurt me.
Well, absolutely. The very act of love calls upon the superhuman.
Come on, God talk. Come on. Let me get out your way. Get in here, Rem.
To love, if you're going to love purely, that means not focusing on the person's impurity, but you focus on your own.
Hey, come on.
If you person that's going to last 1,000 years like honey, it's going to have to be pure.
But what I'm saying, Jeff, is the love can be pure, but the person not be pure. I think the problem is once the person's impurities and imperfections get involved in the relationship, it obscures the view of love. It's almost saying, oh, the love is toxic too, because they are. Talk to me.
Well, sure. I don't know how that can be a little tough to separate. I think the separation from pure love and personal toxicity is entirely the responsibility of the giver of the love.
Well, no. Because if you're looking through the lens of unhealed wounds, then it'll be interpreted that way.
Well, sure, but that doesn't mean it's not your responsibility.
No, it's never your responsibility to fix their lens, to get them a new prescription. It's that prescription can only be filled on the inside.
I think you misunderstood me. It is on me. It is on me to love those that I love and be in search of what is impure in the honey that I bring to market. Now, that don't mean it's gonna be pure when it get there. That fly right there that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
The person that's over there on the other side is not responsible for the fly. The person on the other side is responsible for being honest with themselves and me. That buy this honey with that fly and help me pick it up.
I love it, Jeff. You know, Jeff, I miss you, brother. I'm
Come on,
glad
man,
you called in 2025, my brother. I love you, good brother.
How about that?
I'll be in Pasadena on Thursday with Dominique DePrima at 56 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be in Altadena. She's doing a live broadcast from my city, and I'm going to be in the building. My whole family said they coming out. You going to be in town, boy? Yes.
Right. Well, if you call me, bro, let me know.
First off, you live in Winterfeld right now.
I like to say God stay keeping me because I moved back in August, but my mother-in-law is there. And speaking of love, I married into a family full of it.
Got it.
We have Hallmark Christmas, so I'm down there lending my support to this situation here and as supportive as I can, her and the others, brother. Okay. Because we on some other stuff, which you kind of talked about earlier today on the other show. Got it here. You can get real funky with it if you want to, but call me up.
I'm gonna call you when I touch down, brother. Hey, I love you. I appreciate you. You brought Dina Love in the house. When we come forward, the voice of reason. Gonna go back to the phone lines. We got a lot of people want to talk about it. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in tough times, connecting you with resources and what you need to know. Evacuation shelters are located in the Pasadena Civic Center, the Dream Center in LA, the Westwood Recreation Center, and many more. You can call 311 for details. If you're in Los Angeles County and in need of food, call Omni Ministries at 310-631-1557. Donations can be made to Zelle, Omni Ministries, Inc. at yahoo.com. Parking Lot I outside of Rose Bowl Stadium is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up everything from clothing to food to hygiene supplies for free. To volunteer or donate to help victims of the fire, contact the LA Emergency Network at enla.org. The Cochran Firm and Ivy McNeil, Wyatt Purcell and Diggs, Jasmine Canick, and others have launched a GoFundMe specifically targeting Altadena. Visit LA Fires. The impacted Black community urgently needs help on GoFundMe. And donate to help Black evacuees fighting for survival. Airbnb is offering free temporary housing to people displaced by the fires. Call 211 to sign up. The LA Chamber of Commerce is stepping up to help you sort out insurance claims and other paperwork. Reach them at 213-580-7500. South LA Cafe has free groceries, clothing, and water available at 1700 Browning Boulevard in LA. Track their giveaways or volunteer through their Instagram at South LA Cafe. U-Haul is donating short-term storage free of charge for 30 days to evacuees. Shelter for small or large animals can be accessed by calling 211. A Black-led coalition of community organizations is offering support and resources in the Altadena area at the Flint Ridge Center at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. For comprehensive lists of resources for housing, food, shelter, and more, visit Mutual Aid LA Network on Instagram. Praying for LA and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Going nowhere fast, we've reached the climax. We're together, now we're undone. Won't commit, so we choose to run away. Do we separate? Oh, don't wanna give it, so we both gave up. Can't take it back, it's too late. Reach the climax. I've fallen somehow, feet off the ground. Love is the cloud that keeps raining down. Where are you now?
This might sound strange coming from a therapist, but I'm here to tell you that in relationships, talking is overrated. But isn't communication the key to good relationships? Yes, it is. However, you have to understand that while all talking is communication, not all communication is talking. Talking is good for some things, like planning logistics, and it is absolutely terrible for other things. The most common misapplication of this principle is assuming that if communication is the key to good relationships, then you have to talk about everything all the time. And that is absolutely not true. A fair share of effective communication is knowing what not to talk about and understanding when talking is useless. At this point in my life, I'm convinced that I could have a peaceful, loving, respectful relationship with a woman who couldn't even speak English. This
is why we saved that one for last. When I tell you, let me just say this. Yes, he does sound like a textbook avoidant, right? But when I tell you, Andy was depressed listening to all these videos. But then when that one came on, he's like, I understand the flavor of this one. This one is savory. Go ahead, Andy. Jump on in here. Here we go. Go ahead, Andy. Your thoughts?
I was quite surprised
that he would even say something like that,
he
right?
would say something like that, considering all the other clips that we played or whatnot. Low key, I wish there was a longer version of that. I might have to go ahead and seek that.
But you know, he be wildin'.
Okay.
What I like about Orion Taraban is that he is counterintuitive. He's like a contrarian. So as he stated, everybody says we should talk, we should talk, we should talk. But he flipped it and went the other way and was like, we shouldn't talk all the time. First off, we shouldn't talk when we're not equipped to do so. Many people don't know how to have conversation, right? First off, when someone seeks to engage in conversation, it doesn't mean that they're bullying you or pressuring you or trying to overwhelm you. That's one way. The other way is if it is being perceived as such, you shouldn't continue that pursuit. You should pull back. You should say, oh, I'm noticing that my style makes you feel uncomfortable. What's a better style for you? Now, you can't fall back into your old school ways and be like, no contact, no conversation at all. Because many people are cool. Like he said, I can be perfectly happy with a woman that doesn't speak English. That sounds like avoidance.
Control.
And you see, so you have to understand, conversations, good ones, benign ones, difficult ones, are par for the course for healthy relationships. They must happen. And if you have an avoidant style, you have to remember, even with conflict, you will contextualize a tough conversation as conflict. And it's not conflict. It's, this is a tough conversation. It's uncomfortable for everybody, but that doesn't mean we're enemies. Does that make sense?
100%. Real quick, though. I know you got one more caller. Real quick, Zoe.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, right? Talking about men.
Yeah, let's hear.
Right? We've been taught to suppress
100%
our emotions. Is there any data speaking to what is it, the attachment style of most men, generally speaking? Because I feel like having those deep conversations, it's difficult because we haven't really been taught to express our emotions.
You know, I think that's an amazing question because you're talking about on a societal level, right? Social programming. That's a heavy question. But then on the attachment style level, that's household to household, parent to parent, parent to child. So, but I would be very interested to do some research to see what the majority of men's attachment style might be. But I still think it's predicated on the primary caregiver, right? But that societal piece of male programming that says, you're not a man if you cry, you're not a man if you show emotion, that's a very good question, and I'm going to get back to you on that. I appreciate that, Andy. Come on, Andy! Up in here cooking. All right, let's get Locke from Phoenix, Arizona. Locke in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Locke,
hey, so,
you there?
Yes. Right. Can you hear me?
Yes. I have to warn you, no profanity on the air, my friend.
Oh, no profanity at all. No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Actually, it's an honor to actually be speaking to you, if anything.
Thank you, brother.
So, yeah, if anything, I caught the show late. So please excuse me. I did catch excerpts with you and Jeff. I guess what I even was going to say was in the lecture number 4 on the book, The Shrouded Lighthouse, the challenge of situationship shifts. The situation I found myself in was, it says, everyone enjoys the happily ever after of Disney films, how the charming prince comes in and sweeps the beautiful princess off her feet. They're the first fairy tales many of us are exposed to, and while they make for compelling cinematic fare, the problem occurs when we try to carry those fantasies into our everyday lives. And I married a woman basically who was basically with this type of mindset, ideals. And after 8 years of marriage, things are kind of crumbling. And I don't know, so I'm just kind of looking at you for kind of advice on all these things.
All right, so you're the brother that was in the chat that read the book and said you tried to get your woman to read the book.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's mistake number 1. And I'm going to tell you why. Oftentimes, like when we're inspired by certain works, books, of course we want to share with our partner. But if you're trying to do that with an agenda of saving the relationship, because that's what you said in the chat, right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, again, that is too much. That makes, like if a woman is in the space of, hey, man, I have to reconsider who I'm married to. And then you come to her with a book, let's read this to save the marriage. Sometimes it can be problematic, especially coming from you. Now, maybe coming from somebody else, wow, they'll be able to read the book and see a different perspective. But once the mind has shifted towards the possibility or the potentiality of ending this relationship, you coming in to say, hey, let me save it, sometimes.
No, wait, may I just add? I was the one that was going to initiate the divorce.
Ooh. So again, a woman scorned. You initiated something and then you pulled back. You probably would have had a better chance if you had initiated and followed through. I hate to say that. Like, that's dark psychology. Like, if you would have initiated and said, you know what? Yeah, I'm done. I don't like the Disney stuff. I'm done. I'm cool.
Right.
She probably would have been like, what in the world kind of man is this? She might have chased you. Might have. Or she probably would have been like, whoo, I dodged a bullet and I'm out of here. The reality of it is, don't say you want to do something and then not really want to do it and then try to get her back after you've offended her by saying, let's end the marriage. Do you see that? It really makes you look inconsistent and weak, right? Did you really want to break up with her? Did you really want to divorce her?
Well, I'm ready to. If
do you sound certain even now?
Well, because communication, finance, and sex are, I believe, 3 pillars to a relationship. And
come on.
Yeah, and we again, I'm just looking at you, big brother.
But listen to me. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. You can't put her head in the guillotine and then say, I was just playing. Let's work it out.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I hope you understand that, right? Like, and if she is going to come back, it's going to take some real work and some patience on your part.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? You know what? Call back tomorrow. Let's tailor a topic around your issue. Call back early, Locke, and we're going to work this thing out. Let me see if I can help here. All right?
Okay.
All right, there we go, man. Thank you for bringing Phoenix, Arizona in the building. Listen, all you got to do is call in and participate in the Voice of Reason. We on fire tonight, 2025. Happy True Year. When I come forward, it'll be tomorrow, and I'll have another topic. Let's get luck right. Let's go.
I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. Didn't I tell you what I believe? Did somebody say that?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica,